Hello everyone, today we're gonna cover blood vessels on this baby arm model. So this is right arm, so you can see it's a little bit smaller than mine. But I like it because it's really small, easy for me to move it around to show you all the structures. So let's orient ourselves. So this is deltoid muscle. And this posterior part over here, bone here is scapula. Spine of the scapula. And this is clavicle. Right, so again, deltoid muscle. This is scapula, spine of the scapula, and clavicle. So here's your armpit, right there, or axillary region. So let's look what we have here. So because this is clavicle, blood vessel over here is the artery that is subclavicular artery, subclavicle artery. And when it's runs in your axillary region, we call it axillary artery. So subclavian and axillary. Now the axillary artery ends right here where we have inferior border of the teres major muscle. So up to this point. That's this muscle over here is your teres major, right there. Inferior border of teres major, and up to this point we have axillary artery. And then axillary artery becomes brachial artery. So here's our brachial artery, kind of goes up here, all the way to your antecubital region, right? So that's a brachial. Now this little branch over here is called ulnar collateral artery because it's on the ulnar side, right? So this one is ulnar collateral, but here's our brachial. Here we get to our antecubital region, and now I need to remove some of these muscles to see how these blood vessels divide or bifurcate. So you can see over here two blood vessels. One is right there and one is right here. Now this one is where your pollex is, or thumb, and bone over here is radius. So this one is a radial artery. So that's a radial artery. And this branch over here and the artery moving on the ulnar side is ulnar artery, right there. Now you can see from ulnar artery we have, I don't know how light it is, but we have two branches here, right there and over here. So those are interosseous. Anterior interosseous is this artery right here, the red line. That's anterior interosseous. And posterior interosseous, you can find it on the posterior side, so it's right here. That's a posterior interosseous. Interosseous means artery that runs between two bones, interosseous, and those artery runs between radius and ulna. Right, so again, we have our brachial to this point. Then we have the radial, right, radial on the radial side, right here. And we have ulnar, this one, and anterior interosseous is right here. Okay, now let's see what's happened with the hand. So here's our radial artery, and then it gives this branch right here, and this is called superficial palmar branch of radial artery, right? So we know it's radial because it's where the pollex is, and this one is superficial branch, superficial palmar branch of radial artery, and this is our ulnar artery, and they make this arch. This is superficial palmar arch. And then we have blood vessels radiating from this palmar arch, and those are called common palmar digital arteries. And then common palmar digital arteries splits into this one that are proper palmar digital arteries, right? Palmar because they are on anterior side, on the palmar side. So here's our superficial palmar branch of radial, but here's our radial continues on the posterior side. So here's the radial. And again, this is our ulnar, but look over here, we have this branch of ulnar, and it's called dorsal carpal branch of ulnar artery. So it's dorsal, and we have carpal bones here, so it's dorsal carpal branch of ulnar artery. And this artery is over here, a dorsal metacarpal arteries, and then dorsal digital arteries. Because this is a dorsal side, right? So here's on the thumb, we have our radial, right? And because the ulna kind of goes towards the palmar, but we have this branch from ulnar artery that is dorsal carpal branch of ulnar, and they form carpal arch that is not shown over here. And from the carpal arch, we have dorsal metacarpal arteries, and then dorsal digital arteries goes to the digits. Now those yellow lines are nerves, and I will cover it in my next video, but right, so this is our dorsal digital artery, goes to the thumb, or right, or pollex. So one more artery I want to show you. So if I kind of remove this deltoid muscle, right, so you can see the bone over here is humerus, right? So here you see the humerus bone, and this is anterior part of the humerus, and this is the posterior part of the humerus. Now this is called anterior circumflex humeral. So it's anterior circumflex humeral, and this one, because it's on the posterior side, posterior circumflex humeral. Right, so hey, that's it for arteries of the arm, forearm, and hand. Hope it was helpful. Thank you for watching.